Welcome to Chapter 15. We're going to start this unit. This unit is focused on statistics and a little bit of probability towards the end. So to start off, I'm just going to have you pause your device or pause the video and look at parts C through G. And I want you just to identify which ones you think are statistical questions and which ones are not. Okay. There's really not, I haven't given you any guidance here, just statistical questions and those that aren't. So what do you think? How much time did you spend doing homework yesterday? That one is not a statistical question. How much time do students at the school spend doing homework? That would be a statistical question. All right, so if we have a bag with 50 red poker chips and 50 white poker chips, if you reach into the bag and pick out 10, how many red chips will you get? This is interesting. If it said how many did you get, that would not be statistical. But since it's predicting how many will you get, that is statistical. What is the area of a circle of radius 2 inches? That is not statistical. And the last one is a little harder to understand maybe, but when you put a circle of radius 2 on top of 1 inch dot paper, how many dots will be inside the circle? I don't know if this will work. Okay, so if you look here, we have a certain number of dots in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, if I slide this over, I'm trying to do this carefully. So there's 13 now. Watch this dot here. When I slide it over, oh man. Try that again. I slide it over. So here I've got 13. Alright, I gotta do this again. So I'm gonna do it this way. Alright, so let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 dots in the circle. But now, if I move this circle over carefully, you see that I've lost 3 circles. This one, this one, this one. And I've gained 1 circle here. So now instead of having 13, I only have 11. I guess this is a little bit of a side trail. I'm just trying to show you that it won't always be the same. So sometimes I got 13, one time I got 11, I probably could get 12, I don't know what the fewest or the most is, but this one ends up being a statistical question as well. So what makes a question statistical and what makes it not statistical? If you pause and think about it, there's really 2 kind of components. If I'm going to answer these questions D, E, and G, statistically, it's going to require the use of data. In other words, I'm going to have to gather some data. I'm going to have to ask people how much time they spend on their homework. I'm going to have to actually test this out and collect some chips. In this one, I'm going to have to actually put a circle on here and start counting dots. Now, there might be some ways like an E and F that you're able to do some mathematical calculations to come up with an estimation, but they could be answered using data. And the other thing is you'll see the answers, there's a lot of variability. Things vary. in these situations. So the answer to this question, how much time do students at this school spend doing homework, will be different today than it was yesterday. But we could answer it with statistics saying, well, we've done some work, we've gathered some data, and we think that on average students spend, right now, how do you count homework versus schoolwork? I guess it's all homework or it's all schoolwork. Not sure how to look at that. But we could say they spend an average of 7.3 hours, give or take an hour. And so we're answering it, but there's some variation in it. And so that's really the main idea of statistical questions versus other mathematical questions. What's the area of a radius of 2 inches? We don't have to collect any data. We don't have to, there will be no variability. There is one answer that is correct. So, statistical questions, key idea of this video is that they require the use of data, or at least could use data, and their answers have some variation.